I had to get her on here. Anyways, let's kick it in the ass here. I'll be bringing that one to your office soon, like I used to bring the other one.
Anytime, man. Anytime.
Robert, this is my co-host. But most of the time when we do podcast, we just do audio in his office/studio. Robert Benenati, if you could see behind 365 Realty, and we actually haven't seen each other in a while, or even done a podcast in a while.
It's been a while. No.
You were my first Zoom podcast originally back in April 2020. That crazy?
Wow, time flies, man.
I know. You were my first one. We talked about health and wellness, the pandemic, COVID, us not being able to work out at our gym.
Close to 2 years, huh?
I know. It's unbelievable. And then me and you did a bunch of other podcasts too. I was on yours. And then I think I did another one in your office.
Yeah, we've done several podcasts.
Yeah, we've done.
It's been good.
The audio we've done probably at this point, probably 50, if not more. I'm not kidding. But what I want to talk about what I want to talk about now with you is, let's jump on real estate a little bit here. And I know you don't always want to talk about it, but since I haven't seen you for a long time, I was at dinner with some friends that are realtors last night as well. And real estate, I'm getting all these, besides them and other people, all different stories. The market's not as hot as it once was, or it's very hot still.
I was going to ask you that. What did they all match on their stories, or does everyone has a different perspective or
it's not just them
right now?
Yeah, I'm friends with a lot of people on Facebook too that are realtors that some you even know, and some seem to be really hot still. Some seem to be really cooling down. I'm not seeing as many posts, but they had a really good year. But I also heard where they were at, a lot of the high-end earners left to cut better deals at other locations.
Brokerages or?
Yeah, at other brokerages because they were able to negotiate.
Yeah.
So, and I'm sure you know that as well. So as far as
that's always been a thing in the brokerage business, agents trying to get a better split, or they outgrow the brokerage and they go find, new training, new networking, new ideas, technology, whatever it is, they move and they want their office to be closer to them, whatever the reason is.
Yeah. So what I really want to get down to is what's really happening, because I mean, you're in it deep. What's really
what's happening to me, or what's happening?
Well, what's kind of happening to the market? Because I do think I have a lot of family members that want to move here, that also brought homes here. You hear all the stats about how many people are moving to Florida. Mm-hmm. Is it slowly becoming more of a renter's market because the price of the homes are going up so dramatically?
Honestly, for me, there's not a right answer. It's a combination of things. Yes, the market was hot in the summertime, right? Through the summer up until, I would say, September. And that's normal, regardless of the market. Just because it's summertime, families with children, they tend to want to move to a better school zone. People are moving from state to state. It usually kind of slows down in September when school starts, right? Mm-hmm. Then it picks up a little bit in November through Thanksgiving into, I would say, usually between the 10th and the 15th of December. Then it kind of just stalls December 15th through, I would say, January 5th, 6th, right?
Yeah.
And then it kind of picks up again because everyone's concerned, everyone's entertained with the whole, holidays and travels and preparations for Christmas, New Year's. So they kind of, and they don't want to move that time of year.
Right.
So they hold off on everything. It's funny because I created a content on, I think it was TikTok, Reels, whatever it was, talking about how buying a house in the month of December might be the best time to buy a home.
I saw it.
Right? Because you get less competition. Everyone's not buying because everyone's in their own world. And you go in and come, and find homes, at least to those that are listed, because a lot of people take those listings down in the month of December, right? Because A, they know there's not a lot of activity, or B, they're going through the holiday seasons as well, and they don't want to be bothered with people coming in and out of their homes, in Christmas. So, but the few homes that are listed, you tend to get a better deal, or at least you get a higher opportunity to negotiate, because when the homes are on the market for longer than 30 days, which it seems like in Florida, it's a thing that homes only last, 7 to 10 days, and,
Right.
and they're under contract. So anything above 30 days, the sellers tend to get a little antsy, a little bit more motivated. And if you're the only one submitting offers, you get possibly a better negotiation terms.
Yeah, I'm sure they
So,
also spend more money. Like maybe they spent more money on Christmas than they expected, so now they know credit cards are coming, right?
right. So they say, let's just get the deal done. I want to get it done before the end of the year. And I actually have 2 deals that are closing. One just closed recently, right before Christmas, actually on the 23rd. And the other one's closing now. And this went through the holiday, dates. So they got great deals. They didn't have to fuss a lot. So it was good.
Are the home increases, because we hear it on the news and we live here, are they increasing 20, 30% like they're saying? Are there offers being offered that are is it more or less like a bidding war?
Well, it was. I think it was. Well, not that I think it was. It was from June on until September, and for a couple of reasons. Number one, it's a peak season for real estate, right?
Sure.
Number two, you had a lot of influx of people coming from other states up north, California, right? Are the prices increasing? I don't. For the wrong reasons. Why I say this? Because what I've noticed is sellers had a listed price, and everyone goes by the last house is sold. Well, my neighbor sold for, I don't know, 400. Mine's is worth 4.25 now, right?
Right.
And they were listed for that amount, and most of the time they will get it. Why? Because there was just a bidding war. There was a lot of people. They only had X amount of days here, and they come up from the north where $400,000 to them is really nothing, right? So to offer an extra 20,000, hey, let's just get the house. We're done with this deal. We go back to wherever they came from, do what they have to do, and then move down, right? But at least they secured a property, which is the hard part.
Yeah.
So you would pay if it makes sense to you, right? You found a house that you like.
Yeah.
You have the money. You go ahead and pay a little bit over the listed price. Now, a couple things happened. Homes were not appraising. So if there was a loan involved from the buyer side, it would probably not appraise. They had to come out of pocket to cover. And what I came across was when I was making offers locally, right? So not people that were coming from other states, but locally, the first question I would get from the listing agent was, is your client willing to stipulate on the contract that, that they waive their right to the appraisal? And I would say no. Okay. And if it doesn't appraise, up to how much are they willing to come out of pocket?
Sure.
Sometimes it was 5,000, 10,000, if they really wanted.
Is it a cash deal, right? Is it a cash deal?
If it's a cash deal, then there is technically no appraise. I mean, you could go appraise a house for your own knowledge, but it's not contingent to the contract.
Right.
So it's a combination of things. Now, when people from specifically like New York, with Boston up north, they stopped coming down because school started, because they say, okay, we missed the boat. Let's wait until next summer and come back and do it, because we got to go back. Kids, we couldn't transfer the kids to school, so let's just stay there. Weather the storm, the cold, and then come back.
See how the market is.
What happens with the market?
Everything.
They came down. It was crazy. It was 15 offers to one home.
Right.
They couldn't secure anything. Let's just go back, right? So when those people went away, then people that were a little bit more patient or they were local, then they would go ahead and make a normal offer. Now the prices didn't seem to increase. That's what I'm saying. It's not a true value of that real estate is increasing. It's what people were just asking.
Sure.
So I did a couple of deals in the month of November where we didn't offer more than the listed price. On the contrary, we made offers.
Sure.
And a few we got, other we kind of negotiated to the listing price. And I think one or two cases, the home did not appraise. So we had to go back and figure it out. So that it's a little bit more realistic, you know? Sure. So people that are not in the industry, they might say, well, prices are going up because I see what they're asking. But asking is one thing, and getting it and closing the deal at a higher price, you know, it's a 50-50.
I think too, a lot of people were shocked when they moved here because they thought, if I can't buy, I'll just rent. And the rent seemed to go up a lot more than I think.
Now that, you see, now you ask me about prices going up, rental has gone up tremendously.
Yeah, absolutely.
Considering what, you know, Florida, you know, Orlando, we're in Orlando specifically, but what I've noticed in the last 5 years and what rent were back then and what rents are going for now, like they've increased, and they're taking advantage of these people that are moving in, not being able to buy a home, and they need to rent because they're probably already here with their furniture, with a truck full of furniture, and they need to get into somewhere. Yeah. And then you got all these big investors that have seen these buildings going up for rental units.
Huge.
I mean, yeah, that's been huge in the last, I would say, 6-7 years. You know, 300-400 units at a time.
Between hotels
everywhere.
Between that and hotels, you think, like, when is it going to end? And it never ends. Like, when aren't they going to be empty?
Like that.
Right? It's like, how many buildings do me and you see off of I-4? I'm just saying, or hotels or new construction for apartment complexes, and you're like, how are they going to fill all these? And before you know it, they're all filled.
Yeah.
Give me an idea too, because I think a lot of people hear this. That the average home, say in Florida, not Central Florida, I'm just saying in general, is $500,000. It's $600,000 now. It's $650,000. Let's take an honest approach at this for the most part. Let's just start with Central Florida. What is the average home right now? Is it really, because it used to be, I should say, what, 340, maybe 320? Is it 400,000? Is it 440? What is it?
No, we're probably between 350, 375 average. Right. Now with, you know, FHA loans going up on their conforming, you know, they just increased, like conventional went up from, what was it, 556, something like that, to 647, I believe.
Yeah.
So that says a lot.
Yeah, I think a lot of people underestimate too, when they get here, they think they're going to make the same money they did on the East Coast as well. Right? A lot of times they get here in their job, they're not making nearly as much money maybe as before.
Yeah, but they also now understand there's not a state tax here in Florida.
Right.
So what they end up in their pocket might be pretty close. Yeah. And the cost of living here might not be as high as, you know, up north.
Yeah. But as you know, a lot of areas, if we start talking Lauderdale, Boca, Naples, Fort Myers.
Well, that's different. Yeah, that's a little different.
Right. The cost of living isn't much different. Some people come here and they're in shock because of the expense too, because if they have a home here, they have a pool expense, as you know, they may have to have landscaping monthly, and all these different type of expenses that they didn't have maybe where they were at. Even maintenance.
Well, up north, for example, tax here, what I'm seeing now is anywhere between $3,800 and $6,000, right, for normal house, and up north is 8 to 12.
Exactly.
So that alone kind of equals out.
My dad's neighbor said their mortgage is cheaper than their taxes.
California. In some cases, yeah.
You know, a lot of people, let's face it, they do come from the East Coast or Midwest, and they're shocked for the type of square footage they get, you know. And a lot of them end up on a golf course. A lot can end up in a really cool area with access to everything. They don't, it's kind of, once they
and
actually
you see a lot of new construction here as well. So they're moving into a brand new home
yeah.
versus, up north, you're getting a home built probably in the 1940s.
Yeah.
Right. So that makes a difference. It just, the sales strategy behind it, the mindset is, oh, wow, it's like buying a new car. It smells new, it rides new,
Yeah.
Same thing with the house. So
Yeah, for sure. What do you think the hottest spot right now in the state of Florida is, really? Do you think it's, or I should say, what's the best deal? You think going up north, say the Panhandle, Pensacola, because the South, or do you think west or
there
east?
is no best deal, because the best deal is whatever makes sense to you. Because
Right.
if your job is, or you need to be around, let's say the hospitality, well, the best place for you is probably Orlando, Miami, right? Cities that are growing, Jacksonville, Tampa, it depends what kind of industry you're in and what kind of work, then you have to move to those places. If you're talking simply price points, then obviously you want to go to places like Ocala, Winter Haven, Davenport,
The outskirts,
places on the
Pain City.
outskirts.
Yeah.
Right, the outskirts. But again, it's the best deal you could get for what you need,
Yep.
and within the area that you're looking for.
Yeah, I talk about that all the time too. And a lot of people, they want to move to Florida, but they have to go high end. So they're like, I can only live in Boca. I can only live in Pompano. I can only live in South Beach. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
well, you live only in a $350,000-$400,000 home where you're at. What do you think you're going to get in these places
Right.
near the ocean, that lifestyle? It's a little unrealistic a lot of times.
It is.
Yeah. But, if you get creative, me and you talk about it all the time. You could go to Cocoa Beach, hypothetically. You could, go to the Panhandle maybe a little bit. And
There's a lot of beach areas that are
yeah,
not super expensive. Yeah.
yeah, they don't. And a lot of times they don't realize, say you're up north, Florida, and because a lot of people come to Orlando or south, they complain about the weather being too hot. I'm like, again, go to North Florida. It's nice weather. You're close to New Orleans. You
Mm-hmm.
got Georgia. If you live, if you have family in the Midwest, you save a tremendous amount of time driving, if you're going to drive, or flying from there instead
Right.
of saying going all the way south. I think people really underestimate the size of Florida as well, how long it is. Very similar to California, but California's bigger. But from the top of Florida to the bottom is unbelievable.
And the temperature varies from and the same
Absolutely.
thing, the East Coast from the West Coast is totally different as well.
Like California, right? Let's call it for
Yes.
what it is. Yeah. So what else you got going on? You're probably exhausted from real estate.
No, you know
Cigars? Are
what?
you still smoking?
Sorry?
Are you still smoking cigars?
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Yeah. In the backyard?
Yeah.
You quit going to the smoke shops.
You got to come over. I did a lot of changes to the yard.
I won't leave.
Yeah, I know. You'll probably take a nap there.
I know we were supposed to do cigars at Vincenzo's, but Vincenzo got sick. So I brought everybody cigars, and then nobody was there because everybody, in Florida right now, there's so many people getting sick off and on, and they're scared.
Yeah, this spike went up again, and it's crazy.
Yeah. And, you kind of live between, and your office is right in between probably one of the hottest cigar spots literally in the state of Florida, Corona Cigar.
Yeah.
And you don't go there anymore.
I went yesterday. I bought a box, but I took it home.
Oh, nice. Is
Yeah.
it busy over there?
It's every time I go by, yeah, there's always guys there. Yeah, it's busy.
You got any new tricks as far as what you're learning with the smokes?
No, same thing,
Same old thing. You've been hitting I saw you at the gym the other day. I didn't bother you. You were in the middle of a racquetball.
I'm still doing racquetball, but I'm in so much pain, man. My knee, my elbow, my wrist now. So I was like, I just got to go back to training. So that's one thing I'm actually, not because it's the beginning of the year, because I've been through so many years, right?
Yeah.
Starting and supposedly the New Year resolution.
Yeah.
But I made a conscious effort to start eating cleaner, just because of the way I was feeling, not because it was January 1st, but it just so happened to be that I started on the 3rd, actually, a couple of days ago, and I was like, I just got to stick with this, and I know what I need to do.
Yeah, you always know what to do. Your body's always telling you what you got to do.
I'm 72 years old, and look how I look.
That's it. That's what I'm saying. That racquetball will beat the shit out of you, man.
It does, man. It takes a toll.
Yeah, if you don't, I don't care what it is. I did it in California with my cousin. I said, I'm done. I told you, wanted to join leagues because in San Diego, it's huge.
But I take 2 to 3 weeks off and then come back, and I come back strong playing. But it only takes me 2 weeks of playing, and I'm back to square one where I'm hurting and I need to rest. So I want to go back to weight training.
Yeah, that's good. You'll be in my backyard again.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter how. I realized too when I was playing some racquetball, because I played tennis throughout my entire life, is, I wasn't going to give up weightlifting. So I had that going on. And I think a lot of people then will jump on racquetball or try to do both, which isn't easy, especially if you're going to start doing legs or you're doing bis or tries, or the toll it takes on you kind of doing both, even if you alternate. For me, because I tried it all. I alternated some racquetball with weightlifting. Didn't work. Just did racquetball, beat the shit out of me for a while, just to take a break a little bit from weightlifting, just doing it mildly. But the only thing that really works for me is just weight training, and maybe tennis to a certain degree if I'm going to play a racket sport, because I don't know what it is. Handball and racquetball, you just take too much of a toll on my back and my elbow. It's too much snap. At this point, I'd rather swim. Let's put it that way. I need the resistance.
I started doing racquetball for the cardio part of it, right, of the workout, and I got caught up into the game, and then I was doing more racquetball than weight training.
Yeah.
And then it started taking a toll on me. I was like, you know what? And if you do train, like you said, if you're training and you go play, now you're not playing at your best potential.
Yeah.
So now you play just to run around a little bit, burn some calories, make it fun, but you're not playing at their level now.
Yeah. Competitive is a whole different ballgame.
It's a different ballgame now.
Yeah. And the thing is, when you start playing racquetball, I'll just say it becomes very social, and it's something to look forward to. I see, you're laughing with your buddies, you meet different people, you really business.
It's a lot more networking than actually weight training, because weight training, you're on your own. You got your headphones on, you're looking down, you're concentrating, you're focused, right?
Yeah.
You go in for an hour, you're out.
Yes.
With racquetball, we spend 2 hours, sometimes 2.5 hours, while you're alternating, going in and out. You're talking to someone. There's days I go and there's not enough guys to play. It's only 2 of us, and we end up not playing and just, maybe warming up or whatever, waiting for someone, realize no one's showing up, and then we end up talking for an hour.
Yeah.
So it does become very social, and then you start learning about their family, about their business, and it turns out to be a little bit more of a network than
it's fun
than a physical.
Yeah, it's good. It's
exercise.
Definitely good. Your wife's kicking ass with the TikTok.
Yeah, she's doing TikTok. She's doing influential, whatever she's doing online between Reels and TikTok, but she's actually doing life coaching.
Right.
For women.
How's that going? That's going good?
Yeah.
Yeah. Her TikToks are awesome.
She's happy. She's busy. She's doing what she's got to do. So, yeah.
She's been wanting to do this for a while, right?
Yeah, she was. Yeah, based on with all her, situation with anxiety and things like that, she was actually meeting a lot of people, talking about it, right? Being open about it. She started meeting other people that had the same issues, and they were opening up to her.
Mm-hmm.
And she was able to get out of it and learn how to handle it. And so they were coming back to her, kind of calling her, reaching out to her, like, what would you do with this, that, the other? And then she realized, wait a minute, I have so much to share because I've been through this for a very long time. That talking to a friend that you have that we have in common, Christine, that I introduced to you, she's a life coach. She's got a school. So she went ahead and she got certified with them. And I think she's still in the middle of it or something like that, but she is coaching.
Oh, that's
so she's happy. She's actually happy doing what she's doing now. Yeah,
I think that TikTok or doing Reels kind of is a game changer. I think people really have fun with it instead of just doing photos or having to upload videos just on YouTube, right? To a certain degree.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They say it brings out your creative part, but I
Yeah.
think it also brings out you releasing what you have to give, right?
Yeah.
That sometimes you don't have another form of media to how to share what your experiences, share your ideas, your voice, and one way or the other you do it, be it in a funny TikTok version, or really just sharing something of knowledge or tips and tricks, or just being yourself and talking to a camera.
And
You
the
never
app,
know
yeah.
whose life you would change just with a couple words.
Yeah, and the editing is really simple to use and very unique, a lot of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think a lot of people could do it, where before you almost had to, know how to edit to do a lot of these things. Now
Yeah, now
it's,
everything is a couple push of buttons and you
yeah. And
have a mini film going on.
yeah, and you also, for some reason, they allow you to use music that you don't have the rights to or any of that, where before that was a fiasco. Even when I was making films, you couldn't use any music, even though I didn't give a shit on my first film. But after that, but now it seems like it's a free-for-all. You can kind of do on social
Yeah.
media whatever the hell
Yeah.
you want, however you want. It could be, as long as it's not too over the top.
Yeah, I don't even know how people in the music industry are making money now with all this streaming, and the music is out there right away. It's free, kind of, so.
From what I hear is, like, TikTok is really, or what I should say, what I see and what I've heard a little bit is they're bringing back a lot of old classics, and a lot of younger people don't know about these songs, from the 60s, 70s, 80s, and,
Right.
and 90s even.
These remixes, yeah.
Yeah, so, like, hypothetically, a Barry Manilow thing hits, and then all of a sudden they're like, "Oh my God, I love this song," and then they'll download his song or maybe pay for it that way. But he was obsolete unless you went and seen him in Vegas, and he's age demographic is baby boomers, right? But
Right.
things like that, even rock star, all the old rock hair bands, all these different Bee Gees, you see them on TikTok. They're
Yeah.
huge. And even our gym, I told Rhea, because of our gym now, they're all playing 80s and 90s, a lot of it, as you know. And I said, I'll bet you this is because of TikTok. Nobody, like, not a lot of people like modern music, but they love the classics. And you go to restaurants, a lot of times I'm seeing 80s, 90s. The radio seems to be playing more of it as well that I'm seeing. And I don't even listen to the radio that much. TikTok, Instagram Reels. Anyways, it's very interesting.
Yeah, music is like the fashion, sometimes old fashion comes back.
Absolutely.
From the 80s and 90s, and the trend comes back. So
what are you going to do now with, what was I going to
drink
ask?
coffee.
Yeah, what are we?
I thought you were asking what I'm going to do now.
What are we going to meet for coffee? Right, we're going to take off.
Maybe, yeah. That would be my third. That would be my third coffee of the day if we do meet.
I'm all decaf. I didn't like the way caffeine was making me feel. I'm an asshole. I don't know what I'm doing. And then, like, last night, I had caffeine. I don't know what I'm talking about half the time. We're back at the French joint, Winter Garden. That cream brulee or the vanilla latte is just crazy delicious there. And they're huge.
Yeah, but it's just too much for me. It's too much sweet.
I'm at night. I'm a night coffee guy. You're early.
All day.
Yeah.
I'm an all day guy.
Where are we going? Nora, join over here by my place?
Yeah, if you want. Yeah, I just came from Le Café de Paris.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
I've only been there once, or maybe to see you, or not at all, since Duncan passed away, our dog. And she gets too devastated. Even if we go to, what is there, Fresh Market there?
Yeah.
Because that was one of his favorite spots. She's crying. So I asked her when we were at Fresh Market 2 days ago. We've been going there a lot. And I said, we got to go to, meet Robert, or we got to go back to the cafe. And she's like, I'm not ready for it. I said, I understand.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I get it.
We haven't been going to even Starbucks or our gelato places, all the spots we used to take the dog to all the time. We haven't been going to. But we used to go to Winter Garden, but the little baby, our new little, the other one liked it there too. And I said, we can't not go to these places. So that's the name of that.
You have to share with the new dog where Duncan used to like to go. So
yeah, and for the time she was with us, I would take both, or we would. anyways, it's been a.
It'll be a way to share that with the new dog, and she could probably, Rhea could kind of start getting over the fact of having to go places and being reminded of.
Yeah, in the last year, we were, especially the pandemic, I should say, year and a half, 2 years, we went so many places with our dog. I didn't take him. I took him everywhere.
Yeah.
I don't care if it was Dairy Queen. I don't care if I was going to any restaurant. I used to, you'd meet me and you'd all of a sudden see I'm carrying the dog. I would take him to your office because we never knew how long he was going to, live. And we wanted to make sure, like I think a lot of people, that he had an incredible life towards the end, the latter part. But you got two beautiful dogs. You got it going.
Yeah, I took one to the groomer this morning, so I got to go pick her up later. But
which one?
Yeah, the big one. Yeah, the golden doodle.
I love that dog. I love your dogs. All right, you want to wrap this up, homie? This is a shorty. Yeah. I like it. Let's see what time it is here. Oh, it's 1:34. What else? Well, I wanted to ask you one more thing real fast.
Yeah.
Before I forget.
Shoot.
What do you plan on doing as far as this year? Because me and you are always talking about marketing, and we're always trying to kind of, I don't want to say inspire one another, but kind of bounce different ideas.
Bounce things off.
Yeah. What do you think you're going to be doing this year? I mean, you're going to just go mainly TikTok? Or are you going to go back to, a lot of people may not even know this, you have your own podcast, Real Business?
Yeah. Actually yesterday I was kind of sitting down and thinking, what am I going to do? The podcast I put aside just because I got busy.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't really take care of it the way I, wanted to.
Well, you got, that was hard on you, let's face it, because you have a studio and you wanted to do it one-on-ones, or you wanted to do.
Yeah, but I had the option after we spoke. I had the option of possibly doing a monogram, a monologue, where it was just myself giving out tips or something like that. I just got to see what I want to do with that. I'm not really haven't given it too much thought. It's there. If I want to do it, I could just jump on it real quick. Sometimes you come and use the studio. I think you use the studio more than I do.
I do.
But I don't know what I want to do with that. I know I'm heading, what I did do in last year, June, July, like in August, I think, right after vacation. I go on vacation in June. So in July, right. I came back and I restructured it, and I was doing too many things. I was doing remodeling. I was doing flipping homes. I was doing real estate. I was doing mortgages. I was doing, a little bit of the podcast, TikTok. I was all over the place.
Sure.
Right. And I just narrowed it down back to real estate. And then I got so busy with real estate because I focused. Right?
Yeah.
I know what I need to do. And I've gotten so busy. I'm still busy right now that's where, I try to do some TikTok, actually giving out real estate tips. They've worked out good. I've got good responses, people asking me questions. I got people looking, right. But I haven't even had the time to sit down and do those.
Right.
Because I've been, busy.
Keep talking. I'm gonna let this crazy dog out. Keep going, baby.
So, I'm still focused on real estate the way I am.
Yeah.
And the second portion is mortgages. So I am doing mortgages as well.
Nice.
So
yeah, we were talking about that yesterday.
It's between those two.
Yeah, I see more and more mortgages, joints open up around everywhere, especially even metro.
So I'm going back with the company I'm with, which is My Mortgage. I'm actually now a sales manager type, and what I'm doing is recruiting. So I'll be recruiting new loan officers to join us. We have a system in place where we're generating leads, giving out those leads, trying to bring some realtors also, bring their business to My Mortgage. So that is what I'm doing at the beginning of this year now.
Yeah, people don't realize how long you've been in this game. This isn't something like a lot of people come to Florida, get their license. Like almost most people we know have a real estate license. You've been doing this for a majority of your life, starting out in New York.
Yeah, 20, 21, 22 years now.
This is your game. You're in it for life.
Yeah. at one time, I think it was my midlife crisis. I was trying to figure out what to do. I wanted to get out of it, go do something else. And it fell back to real estate. It all came, it was a full circle, and it always landed back in real estate. So I was like, okay, so this is what I got to do.
You were one of few people I met that I think, I'm not just saying this, even when you were thinking things through, you still loved real estate. Like, you love it. Like,
yeah, there's something about real estate, and well, you know me, and we've spoken about this, and this is the way I've trained others and taught and mentored, is the sense of business in real estate. So I don't see real estate as put a sign and make a commission.
mm-hmm.
I see this long term. That's why I've been here long term, is because of my referrals, people, repeat business, repeat referrals. And that's kept me busy, the last 15, 16 years. It's the way I do business and the way I provide service in real estate. I create a relationship with my clients. They end up becoming my friends, right? And because of that, they end up referring me hands down to anyone. And that the next person that comes usually tells me, Robert, they told me you're the guy I got to come to, so-and-so. So they come already open to listen to what I have to say. And I'm very transparent, very straightforward, very blunt. You might not want to hear what I have to say, but if I'm saying it, it's for your own good. And that's kept me in business.
I also think a lot of people underestimate that, like, you're bilingual because right? Let's call it for what it is, right? You throw people a lot of times.
Yeah, it does. And that, I think that's also been another thing, that I'm Spanish, I can speak Spanish fluent, just like English.
Yeah.
So that's, of course, that's helped me.
And Spanglish.
And Spanglish. So if that's a language, yeah.
But yeah, people totally underestimate you because I don't think, from the way you look a lot of times, having an Italian last name, you'd think maybe he speaks more Italian. I'm just saying, but like, you are fluent in Spanish, but they don't.
I understand Italian fully. I can speak slowly because I haven't had enough practice, right? Yeah. But even if I would speak Italian fluently, who am I going to speak with? Like, Orlando is not a place of, like, maybe up north that you get more old school Italians, speaking Italian. So
do you think you speak, because your wife mainly speaks Spanish, I presume, at home? Maybe I'm wrong. Do you speak more Spanish or English throughout the day, even with your clients?
Both.
Right?
Yeah.
People, again, I don't think realize that.
I'm 50.
You don't have an accent, right? Or when we go out or anything.
I'm 50-50. There's no, yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah. And in Florida, that's huge. Let's put it that way, especially South Florida, Kissimmee, where you used to, you know Kissimmee very well, but a lot of Florida is really, Spanish speaking. It's unbelievable. Well, that's it, my friend. That's all I got for you. What do you think? You want to tell people where to find you, if you want to do that, or no?
Yeah, they can find me. I'm based out of Orlando, Florida. So 365realtyinc.com. That's the website. They can find 365 Realty or Robert Benenati, any social media, pretty much. For years, I've branded my company, so they can find me from YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, you name it. Any platform, I probably have already the name registered. So if you have any questions in real estate, feel free to reach out. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions. No commitment, no strings attached. I'm not about that. I'm here to help.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I don't think a lot of times, even when we did the Zoom in April a long time ago, we talked about health and wellness. We didn't talk about your real estate. And I don't think when we interviewed one another, we kind of talked about your story, not necessarily what you do. But
we had our story. We had health and wellness. We had a little bit of real estate. We did the confidence thing with you.
Yeah, we talk about real estate, but they're mainly audio, right? A lot of times they're 10-minute clips. So if somebody wants to see those as well, they're all on my podcast and they're on my YouTube page. So all you really got to put is my name and Robert Benenati, and you're going to see a ton of things regarding real estate. We covered many different things on there. rentals. I mean, we did everything. Property management with you. We've done new construction. We've done videos on you and how to invest in real estate, HOAs. Because me and you had like 50 questions, and then I would just kind of spring them on you, and we would do 10-minute little clips.
Alligators.
I almost pushed you in and got you killed by an alligator. He has in his backyard, or whatever the hell you want to call it, in his office.
In the parking lot of my office, there's a lake on the back end.
Yes.
Retaining pond, but it's bigger than a retaining pond. It's actually a little pond, and there's actually 2 gators in there. There's a mom and I think offspring, because the mom is huge.
It's huge.
Yeah.
So he went to the edge once, and I was videotaping him, and then I pretended to push him. I was so scared. I wouldn't have pushed him. My God, can you imagine? Could have fallen right on top of the gator's head, but it's spooky over there. Me and him argue because there's a way for these gators to literally be able to climb up, go underneath his truck or my car, and I'm not kidding. He thinks
they want to, they can get out,
easily. If they're hungry enough. Are you kidding me? And they don't, a lot of people don't know this. Behind your office, there was a bunch of restaurants. So I'm
on the second floor. So the first floor has restaurants, and this part of the parking lot is the backside, right? The rear of the building, where all the restaurants kind of come out, and they dump their stuff at the dumpster, whatnot. And some of the workers were coming out and feeding the gators.
Yeah.
So the gator would just hang out there, waiting for food, which was not cool. But
people think it's a joke, though. I've had my family members like walk up to them, walk past them, and if they lunge, one of them, my cousin had her son on her back near Naples or wherever they went, and walked past one that looked like it was 8-10 feet. I said, "Are you out of your mind?"
They could sprint. They
launch. They're fast. It's like, I forgot how fast, 25 miles per hour for a certain amount of feet or something like that.
Yeah, for like 10, 15 feet, they could really get to you.
You know what they're going to do? And they lay right on the not only are they in the water, sometimes you could pull up with the car and they're 10 feet from you, just chilling right on the bank or whatever you want to call it. I'm like, are you nuts?
These are Florida stories.
What do you call them? I can't remember. Hansel and Gretel or whatever? No.
Romeo and Juliet.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you're going to get bit, I told you one day, on your ankle. Yo, you're going to be limping around. Your racquetball days are finito. You're going to be like Captain Hook, asshole, under your he thinks these things are not going to come up under
You know what really impresses me? You haven't seen it. So the lake that's closer to the parking lot, right? It's just a small, pond.
Yeah.
There's a big lake behind it, and there's only a hump of grass, right? So they go over that and they go into the big lake. So some of the guys that work at the restaurant for lunch, they close. It's a sushi place, so they close from 2 to 5, right?
Yep.
They actually go near the hump and they lay down and take a nap there. And I'm like, you got to be crazy. I mean, these gators could come or go, and if they see you,
they're sleeping. They'll attack.
Yeah.
My father lived on Lake Conway, which in Orlando is one of the biggest chain of lakes. And he lived on the canal right on the corner. And I used to swim under it to go cross over. And we would water ski and jet ski. And for years, we lived on that water. I never really paid attention to gators. But I'm not kidding. A lot of times, right in front of his house, there'd be a 8-foot gator. The police or whoever would have to come and grab him. But I once saw something dive in the water. I don't know if it was a dog. It dove in. It was big. And then I heard it, and then I looked, and then something came up and just grabbed it and went, and it disappeared.
Yeah.
And that's when I was like, what the hell? Like when you're younger in your teen years. So
you don't think about it. Yeah.
We're jumping in, just swimming out through the canals, not carrying, doing all these things. I'm like, I can't imagine how many gators are in that lake.
I wouldn't water ski or just jump in a lake here in Florida. Anyway,
I used to take my
I would boat, but I won't.
Yeah, I took my kids, were on tubes. I used to slalom, everything. Anyways, well, my family's huge in the water skiing. My stepmother, her sister was the #1 water skier in the world at one time. She ran the ski show at SeaWorld. They came out of Wonder Lake, Illinois, who's still the #1 ski team in North America. So my dad and everybody loves, slalom, barefooting. She did jumping, and I used to go to all the shows there and at Cypress Gardens. And she's the one who taught for Jaws 3. She was in Jaws 3. So everything's on the lakes and the ocean and all that. But now I'm scared shitless of everything. Whatever. I'm not in the mood to get eaten. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not in the mood. I'm too old to get we're too old to get bit on the foot or the ankle, and it's over, man. All right, I'm wrapping this up, brother. I'll see you for you want to meet for coffee? What time you going?
I appreciate it. Let me see what time is it. Okay, it's 2. 2 o'clock. I have to end up going to pick up the dog now.
You want to do it tomorrow?
We ran a little late. I'll be available tomorrow, yeah.
We could do tomorrow. I got another pod. Yeah, I got to do another podcast at 5 o'clock myself.
Yeah, I got tomorrow for sure.
Yeah, let's do it tomorrow. Yeah, I got this guy. He's amazing. He helps so many people lose weight. He's out of California, and I mean, he's a master of helping people lose weight. It's amazing. I've never seen also somebody post as many things on LinkedIn showing photos and images of all the people he's helped, like people that lose 100, 200, 300 pounds. It's crazy.
I'll look forward to that one.
Yeah. All right, brother. Just do me a favor. Give me a photo of this and send it to me.
A photo
of you right there or in your studio. Make it long ways.
You see.
No, long ways. The other way. I'm going to throw it up for the cover.
Like this?
Yeah.
Let me see.
All right. Perfect. I'll take one too. You got it?
Yeah, got it.
All right. That's it. Stay out of trees and stay away from gators.
Will do.
All right.